Good afternoon, everybody. This is Alan Beckley. I am the inventor of the Wonder Wallet, and I also have a website. It's not my name tag, it's my website, alanbeckley.com. I am coming to you this afternoon from Plano, Texas, with a topic today that is near and dear to my heart, and it's something that almost every inventor has to deal with. And that is 3 huge mistakes inventors make and how to avoid them. Wouldn't you like to know how to avoid mistakes? Really? I don't like mistakes. So today I'm going to talk about 3 huge or large mistakes inventors make, often right out of the get-go, that can be extremely expensive for them. Some of the biggest, most expensive mistakes that inventors make happen in the first 6 months when they come up with an inventive idea, really and truly. So let's start with the first one. Rushing out to file a patent immediately. And here I can tell a bit of my story, because that is precisely what I did in 2002. I had a great idea for a thin, flexible wallet, and not knowing what else to do, I rushed out immediately, found a patent attorney, and worked to file a provisional, and actually it was a utility patent. So that was something I did right away. Oh, thanks, Rich. Appreciate the comment. Anyway, so I did that right away. Don't recommend that. So the first question is, why is it we do that? Why is that such a knee-jerk reaction? Why do we immediately want to rush out and file a patent on our idea? Well, I think there's 2 key reasons. The first reason, which makes perfect sense, is that we want to protect our invention. And we've always heard and known that if we want to protect it, we need a patent. And that is exactly true, but the time to do that is not right away. I think the second reason why we immediately rush out and file a patent is simply because we want it to feel real. I mean, honestly, when it's an idea in our head or it's a sketch on a piece of paper, it does not feel real. But once we've got a process going, we've got a patent going, it feels real. So in my case, what did I do? I rushed out immediately and filed a patent, in this case a utility patent, committing about $5,000 of risk capital. Something I don't recommend. Fortunately, while it was a mistake, I survived it, but it sometimes does not work out that way. So why do we do it? We do it because we want it to feel real, and because we want to protect our invention, but we shouldn't do it that quickly. Why is it a bad idea? I think I've covered that, but the why it's a bad idea, simply put, is you're committing money potentially in advance before you even know whether the idea is unique. There's a real good possibility that something out there is already patented that's very similar to your idea, and you could be wasting thousands of dollars and tons of time chasing a potential patent for something that already exists. So that's, why you shouldn't do it. And the third one is simply what? Well, what should you do instead? If you're not going to go out there and immediately file a patent on your idea, what is it you should do? What you should do is step back, take a breath, and then do some research. You can go to uspto.gov, the Patent and Trademark Office website, and you can do some research there for free. If you want to know a few more details, if you go to my website, alanbeckley.com, and look at my blog right at the top, I have a great idea, now what? There is an attached free downloadable PDF that walks you through how to do a patent search on uspto.gov. So rushing out and filing a patent is something we tend to do because we think it's a great idea, because we want to protect our idea. And it's a bad idea because we're spending money long before we need to do it. But what we should do instead is do a lot more research to find out if the idea is really that unique, really that original. We can do that by searching uspto.gov, and also do a search in retail stores as well as online, obviously, like Alibaba and Amazon and others. So that's my recommendation there. So number 2, the second of the 3 huge mistakes, this is a bad one, is handing the keys to your product, your invention, over to an invention marketing company. Oy, that almost always ends badly. Now, why do I use the terms handing the keys over? is because in a way it's just like you've got a teenager that wants to drive your Mercedes-Benz because his car is in the shop again. He's had several accidents in the last year, and he says, "Hey Dad, how about if I borrow the Mercedes? I'll be back in a couple hours. Can you just give me the keys?" Seems like not a good idea. So this is why I chose that emblem of handing the keys of your idea over to an invention marketing company. Well, first, why is it we do that? A simple answer why we do that. One reason we do that is we come up with a brand new idea, a really cool concept, a really cool product, and you know what? We have no idea what to do next. Can anybody identify that? Great idea, could be worth a lot of money, but I don't even know where to start. I'll probably make a lot of mistakes. So that's why we have a tendency to look for somebody that seems to be a consultant, somebody that seems to have all the answers. And let me tell you, the invention marketing companies always suggest it's so simple and they have all the answers. Well, next question is, why should you not do that? The why for that is pretty simple. First and foremost, there is only one guarantee in working with an invention marketing company. Does anybody know what that guarantee is? What is the one guarantee when you work with an invention marketing company? Nope, it's not a guarantee that you will ever get it licensed or in the marketplace. No, the one guarantee is they are going to cash your large upfront check to them. That is a guarantee. So, you know, that's why we do it. That's why we shouldn't do it, is now you're putting a lot of money and giving to somebody who is going to cash that check, and they're actually not obligated to anything. And their contract will essentially say in legal terms that they are not obligated to anything. So what should you do instead? So instead of getting a invention marketing company to help you, what should you do? Well, once again, you should take a step back and look for some local resources. One of the best ones is your own local inventors group, where there are other inventors. There's often patent attorneys and other resources to help you. And again, don't rush out to market something before you know if it's even a real product. So those are the reasons for number 2, why it can be a huge disaster handing the keys over to an invention marketing company. It's typically going to be an expensive mistake and a painful one, and it's not going to get you anywhere. So that's big mistake number 2 that you should definitely avoid. The third mistake a lot of people do make is they go and put a lot of money, perhaps thousands of dollars, investing in molds and prototypes to build their product too soon. Now, I'm not saying that this is not a step. At some point you need to build a prototype, but rushing out to do that before you even know what your real dimensions are, before you've really tested it, it's not what you need to do. Here again, simple question, well, why is it we do that? Why is it it's a natural knee-jerk reaction to want to go out there, sorry for the jets, but anyways, want to go out there and get a mold made, to get prototypes made? Why is it we want to do that? Kind of like the earlier question, we really, really want it to feel real, don't we? Don't we want it to feel real? We want to feel like it's a real product. So if we go spend real money and we get prototypes made, and then potentially we can start creating a product that we could sell, then indeed it certainly feels real. And the drain in your bank account early on also feels real. So here again, I do not recommend that you do this right away. So why is it a bad idea? I've kind of covered that. It's a bad idea because, first of all, you may be spending a great deal of money. You also, that early on, are getting a prototype made long before you really have a clear idea of whether or not that's what you want to do, right? Whether the product is finalized, which is probably not. Even with my simple wallet, I went through at least 9 or 10 different prototypes. And in each time I changed something. I changed the dimension, I improved this, I tweaked that. So you don't want to be making anything complicated or expensive until you've really nailed it down. So that's why it's a bad idea. And then the third one is, what should you do instead? What you should do instead is really to consider making a very simple prototype on your own if at all possible. It doesn't even have to be full scale. It doesn't have to look pretty. It can be ugly. It just needs to at least model what it is your product would do. In the case of my thin flexible wallet, my first prototype, because my wallet is now called Wonder Wallet, but it has card holding page, I can't say anything today. It has plastic card holding pages on it, and it's flexible in the back pocket. It's laid out like a photo album. So my first prototype was a strip of cardboard with taped on plastic inserts that I could put in my back pocket just to see if it would fit. That was my first prototype. Didn't cost me anything. And after that, I sewed up some leather swatches, also very inexpensive. So that's a good way to go, is start as simple as you can. And then in some cases, your product may be a little more complicated where you can't really make a prototype on your own. At this point, you might look at a local university, a local community college, and again, your local inventors group for help. So back to kind of get to the close and the summary here, and also a little commercial. We have to always finish with a commercial. The three huge mistakes so many inventors make. Number one is filing a patent immediately. And even a provisional patent, even though it's not terribly expensive, I would recommend against even filing a provisional patent right away until you know whether your product is even patentable or is a good idea. Number two is handing the keys over to an invention marketing company and saying, hey guys, you've got the expertise. How much is that? Oh, $10,000. Oh, but you're going to make me $1 million, right? Right. And then the third one is investing in molds and prototypes, getting professional and expensive prototypes made of your product, even before you know whether your product is unique and individual and it's even worth patenting if it's not already existing out there. Why in the heck would you then be going out and spending a bunch of money for the product? So that concludes our Facebook Live session. Again, I point to my website. It's easy to see it on me this way, alanbeckley.com. And on my website, you will see a blog from this week that says, I have a great idea, now what? And on there, there's a free PDF that you can download with a lot more information on what I've just covered. And also, I am, in less than a month, on November 15th, going to be kicking off my free webinar to help inventors called Launch. Seems like a good title. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on November 15th. And it's to help you take your idea and turn it into a retail-ready product. So the webinar itself is free. At the end of the webinar, odds are I'll probably have some premium things that you may buy that could help you go step by step in the process. But the webinar itself will be free and will have a lot of valuable information. There is information on my website about that too. You already know the website. If you look under the webinars tab and at the bottom of the page, there's all the details. I think that's it for now. Thank you everybody for tuning in. See you next week about this same time. Thanks, Rich, for dropping in. Really appreciate it. And we will see you guys later.